In our fast-pacing lives, where distractions seem to multiply by the minute, finding the art of living in stillness can feel like discovering a hidden treasure. Imagine being able to carve out a space of calm in your day, a sanctuary where you can reconnect with your thoughts and feelings without the usual rush. Finding a moment of silence is only the first step toward living in stillness. The real goal is to cultivate the kind of attitude that will help you face life's storms with poise and clarity. In this exploration, we will explore the nature of quiet and its power to improve your everyday life, providing valuable insights that can uplift your emotional and mental state. Get started on the path to a more tranquil life right now. Don't let this chance pass you by. You've probably experienced presence occasionally, or maybe frequently, without realizing it for what it is. Not because you've desensitized yourself, not because you've taken drugs, not because you're going to sleep, or not because your consciousness is falling. It could simply be a moment of calm, well-being, or pleasant aliveness. Rather, it's a heightened state of awareness. Obviously, thinking is a way that consciousness shows itself. Consciousness manifests itself emotionally. Without consciousness, sensory experiences would be impossible. The core of who you are, consciousness, the brilliance of consciousness, is what we mean when we speak about presence. One could argue that this all-encompassing awareness is not limited to your own being, but exists outside of you as well. It is the cosmic intellect that supports all observable occurrences. The origin of all life forms can be traced to an unseen, enormous intelligence. Although we can't fathom it in all its complexity, we can feel it as an inherent part of who we are. Saying that you experience presence when you pause for a second without losing consciousness is the easiest way to point to it. When you stop thinking, you silence the inner monologue that generally offers commentary on your surroundings or tells you stories about fantastical events. Everyone has to deal with this conditioned voice in their head. This continual internal monologue does not constitute the core of a person's identity for the vast majority of individuals, unless they are experiencing a spiritual awakening. When presence arises, it is an indication of spiritual enlightenment. A lot of you are waking up, even if you can't put it into words. If you weren't on the verge of awakening, this session wouldn't be relevant to you. I assume you're familiar with the concept I'm describing. Perhaps you are able to feel it right now if you haven't before. To catch a glimpse of this, try to imagine a time when your internal monologue pauses, but your awareness stays. You can glance about, watch what's on television, or just take it all in, but you're not really paying attention. Perception is all it is. Presence is the foundation of our perceptual experience. Awareness is another way of putting it. Right now, there's a consciousness that can perceive. This subtle but perceptive awareness is the core of your being. By going beyond your own sense of self, you can tap into a perceptive consciousness within. This awareness doesn't have to interpret. It knows intellectually, but on a much deeper level. Objects and furniture in your immediate environment can be studied without assigning any labels. Now you see things as consciousness, rather than through the eyes of an interpreter and commentator. At some point, you transcend your individual identity and enter a plane of consciousness where you are considered part of something greater than yourself. You are awareness and presence, the things that come before the person. What a profound insight! Being conscious of that consciousness is the next step. That which you are, in addition to all other perceptions, is perceptible to you. Something expansive and huge ties you to something we cannot completely describe or discuss. It lives in the backdrop of your sensory perceptions. It is profound and boundless. It is spirit. This is more than simply the core of your being. It links you to the cosmos itself. The divine essence of the universe was referred to by the classical Greeks and Romans as anima mundi. You are a ray or spark of the universal soul, which exists as your soul presence or consciousness, integral to the essence of the whole. It cannot be separated. You are set free from the egocentric self by this insight. When you open yourself up to that awareness, life becomes more balanced. Everything in your life starts to go more smoothly and easily. This in no way implies that you will no longer encounter difficulties. On the contrary, difficulties will persist. Nonetheless, these difficulties serve to heighten your consciousness as you come to terms with the present. In fact, when you start to awaken, you'll realize that you need the challenges you face to strengthen your presence. In the beginning, you may find that difficulties draw you away from being fully present whenever you face challenging events or individuals. However, as you immerse yourself more in that present, difficulties will not render you asleep, but rather, they will heighten your awareness. Presence, in a word, is being aware without thinking. You start to see thinking as a tool, not a source of misery. The incessant chatter of one's thoughts might lead to a depressed sense of identity for a lot of people. They have a negative internal monologue and see the world through the same negative prism. Because of their upbringing, individuals have trouble differentiating between their internal monologue and external events, leading them to believe what they hear rather than what is actually happening. Life becomes easier when you align with what is always in the present moment. That doesn't imply you won't face obstacles, it just means you won't be unhappy as a result of them. There has been a sea change. You are no longer going to be downhearted by life's challenges. I am deeply moved by this realization. Remember that this practice of living in stillness can lead to a dramatic transformation in your daily life as we wind up our investigation of how to live in stillness. You can respond more calmly and easily to life's highs and lows if you practice stillness, which increases your awareness. To ease into mindfulness, try setting aside even 5 minutes a day to focus on your breathing and inner thoughts, or designate a quiet area in your home for that purpose. You can access a greater sense of tranquility by following these easy yet significant techniques. To demonstrate your dedication to this path and to show that you found this discussion beneficial, please like this video, comment with the word "now," and share it with someone who could use some peace and quiet. Also, if you're looking for more informative videos to help you find inner peace, be sure to subscribe to our channel.